Hey, looking for leaders in our community. Many times they're business owners making an impact. Great causes they support. A lot of people they're impacting for their homes and in our community. Stay tuned, everybody. Perfect Pitch Roofing and Exteriors here. Giddy up. Welcome, everyone, to Your Little Castle Show, where we get to highlight those leaders. Really, making a great impact. Just to hear the fact that you're working with Mark is so exciting. But the Freedom 13, why don't we jump right into that? I want to show off their website. And you said you're making a donation. I'll let you say it here. Tell everybody your new strategy to make an impact here, helping people. What are you doing to help and donating a little bit of your efforts?
Yeah, so after learning what he had going on out there for the veteran retreat camp, being a veteran myself and his son being a fellow Marine, it just seems really near and dear to my heart, and I think it's an amazing thing that they're doing out there. So it's not on our website or advertised yet, but we did just work out a $200 donation for every roof that we do for the Freedom 13.
There it is. I put it up on the TV on the screen there for everybody to take a look at. But a great organization, really doing a lot to impact our community. So every roof, $200. Wow, you probably do hundreds of roofs, so that's going to be quite a bit.
Yeah, hopefully it makes a big impact, and we're also just want to get the word out there. All Mark's asking for is $13 a month from an average person. I forget how many he said that they need in order to support that operation, but it's not a small number, but it's not a huge number. So every single person that can get involved with that, that we can help push in that direction or add to their funds to accomplish their mission out there is, I think, money well spent.
Well said, yes. Thefreedom13.org. There it is, and we'll leave that up there for everybody. Switch back over here, talk a little bit about, tell me though then, as you get into this as a business owner who has to deal with consumers and making people happy, what is one of the biggest mistakes you see that the average homeowner makes when they're about to get a repair, maybe from damage or the roof is old? What's the biggest mistake you see they make?
I would say listening to things that they find on the internet, and
the internet doesn't lie,
right? And not really truly comparing bids, apples to apples, when they are getting multiple bids. As you kind of mentioned in our last show, we use GAF Certainteed and Owens Corning, which we believe are some of the better brands that are out there. So we put on a better quality product. However, we can also install the other IKO or TAMCO, whatever you prefer, that is a little bit more in line with other companies' lower bids that they're giving out to people. So a lot of times that's what you're getting, the lowest bid. So that doesn't always mean you're getting the best quality.
A lot of people say, don't take the lowest bid. It's the lowest bid for a reason. They're cutting corners somewhere.
Correct.
Inferior.
Yeah, what are you not getting for your money?
What are you not getting? Rich, you've seen this before. What are the mistakes you see the average? You've been doing this for a long time. Lots of mistakes.
Is primarily just basing your decision on price. If there's quality, good work isn't cheap. Cheap work isn't good. I think we find our good sweet spot right there where the value is. Where it might be a little bit more expensive than some contractors, but we're not the most expensive guy out there and charging an arm and a leg for things that don't need to be. So I really think the value is there with our company.
Yeah, well, you can have two of three: price, quality, or time. But you can't get all three.
Right. Pick two.
Pick your two. And most people want the quality, and sometimes the price, but many times they want that. Just get the installation done in a timely fashion. Cool. Residential, commercial. What do you like about each? A little bit of each. Tell me about that.
I like the residential.
Rich does a lot of residential. Yeah. Rich is really great with connecting with our customers and listening to their needs, kind of tailoring our services to them. Takes great notes to help the office staff out. So it's almost like we get to call the customer if we need to, or whenever they call in, we kind of feel like we already know them, which just makes, I think, the process much less stress-free, or much more stress-free for clients.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't want a less stress? I mean, that's just life is they talk about stress can be one of the number one killers out there. We don't need that. Let's keep it simple. Somebody that's honorable, served in our military, appreciate that, and taking care of their clients. What do you like working about in the region you're in here? Obviously, you're based out of the St. Louis area on the west side of the area here, but you're also licensed in Illinois too. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, we just became licensed in Illinois this year, so we are trying to get our name out over there. So if anybody in Illinois is watching this, go ahead and give us a call. I would say I like the diversity that we have around our city. There's so many different building types, areas, that are good jobs, or good challenges that teach us a lot of things. As we're working on them. So I would say that's probably my favorite, is just kind of getting to see a lot of the diversity from job to job.
Yeah. When you've got a great region here, but there's also so many storms that come through here, and a lot of need for, and just because on this side of the river, that side of the river, sometimes the river causes the storm to do weird stuff. Rich, what do you like about the region that you're working with, and the kind of people you work with?
Similar with the history behind St. Louis and all the architecture downtown. I think we have a lot of diversity here, like you said, and there's it's a little bit of a challenge sometimes because there's stuff isn't done the way it was done 100 years ago, but
right.
There's always a way to get it taken care of.
Okay, yeah, and you're talking about some homes that are 150, 200 years old, and then you got your new construction too, and they're made out of wood. You make homes out of wood. They used to be made out of brick. All and everything in between, but those roofs, make sure you get that taken care of. That's the most important in your house. A piece of your house, most people will say it protects everything underneath it, right? Tell me a time though when you guys had a situation where you had to kind of go out of your way to help somebody. You could tell they got taken advantage of. We've seen that happen. We've heard about the contractors that are few and far between, but it does happen. They spent the money at the casino and didn't do the job and kind of skipped town. Taillight warranty, we've heard, right?
Yes.
Chucking a truck, right?
Yeah.
Tell me why. What's a time when you had somebody where you had to really help somebody?
Rich, you have the personal experience with that. I don't remember the lady's name, but she was in a similar situation where somebody had come out and inspected. They helped her get the claim started. They said, this is what we're going to do. They took the down payment, and you can't find him. So you're just kind of out that money, but she still needs the work done because she only has so much time for the insurance to get it done. If she wants to get that RCV at the end of it. So Rich did a fantastic job working within her timeline and making sure that she was getting everything she needed and for the best price that we could give her to help her out for.
And on that particular job, they took the big dollar items, the full roof replacement and some of the full replacements, other repairs. They just, okay, she's on her own, disappeared, stopped returning her phone calls. So now for her to find a contractor, everybody's kind of, oh, it's not worth it. There's all this other storm damage. We're able to take our time, go back through there, look at the items that were missed, make sure she got them covered and taken care of.
So you guys did find the time to take care of her and fix something that had been done, a wrong done to one of our fellow citizens here that in our community. You don't want to have that kind of stuff happen, obviously. How often do those kinds of things happen? Is that something you don't see that very often, but or do you see times when the work wasn't done to the quality that it should have been done, and you're going in to clean up something?
Yeah, I mean, every contractor comes in wondering what the last guy was thinking or what he was doing. So, but we definitely like to make sure that we take a comprehensive look at the property and fix everything that needs to be done. Like Rich was saying, I think on the last show, there's just little things that we do that other companies will leave out in order to kind of increase their bottom line, like wall flashings. Well, those are pretty important because that keeps the water from running down your wall, and they get damaged during tear off.
Did they talk about that one? They might have mentioned that.
Yeah, and that's another thing that people mistake. And when we were talking about what are you not getting for your money, so and those problems aren't things that you're going to notice. By the time you notice a stain on your ceiling, there's a lot bigger problem going on up in that attic and on that roof. So periodic inspections, annual inspections. We do free inspections, so it doesn't matter. Again, if there's no damage there, we're going to let you know and give you an honest assessment of what you got going on. So peace of mind for that big investment, I think, is well worth a regular checkup on those items.
Rich, you agree with that?
And as an extension on that, it's not necessarily just storms. Your roof is going to naturally age with natural weather and age, but there's also a lot of, we got squirrels here
Right.
that chew flashings and dig into the roof, raccoons that'll get in through gable vents, and you don't realize it until all of a sudden you start seeing a stain on the ceiling, and that's when you know, okay, well, there's additional rot that could be in there. It could be some major issues. So as long as you have your roof inspected, you can catch those early.
Yes, make sure these particular issues are something that you can. We got one of our batteries. I got to hit our power pack on there, but yeah, the people need to make sure that they're paying attention to these things, because you don't want it to go for too long without somebody paying attention to what you got going on there. So with that, tell me a time though, and one mention I wanted to make, and that is how often is it the case that you get to work with a Marine? And that's why I say, if there's anybody I trust that's going to get the job done, that's going to make sure and have the integrity, that's what we have here in our little community. And when you're working Marines, that's another great attribute that you're bringing to the table to help people. I think that helps make things a little easier on the mind. Give me the big challenge, if you can tell me a little bit about any particular challenge as a business owner that you have gone through that you're like, wow, I didn't expect that was coming, but you learned it from it, and maybe it took a little lesson, but it made you stronger.
I mean, there's so many kind of every day. One thing is definitely, I would say, finding the right people. I do have a great team. I would say we have very low turnover, but there has been something, just doesn't quite pan out to be what you were hoping or what you expected, and as hard as it is to let somebody go, it's what's important for the team, and that's what helps keep everybody stronger. If you just can't get on board and be a part of the culture and team member that plays for the team.
There you go, culture, team efforts. Those my slider up there. So we've got a moving camera, and every once in a while, about once every 300 shows, the battery wire gets unplugged while it's moving. But it's all right. So learn to deal with the technology we have here. But a lot of great work you guys are doing in our community and making an impact. Teamwork, make the dream work. You've seen that as well, Rich?
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's certain people that come along, like Steve was an excellent asset with doing the repairs, taking care of some of the smaller items that aren't set up for a whole crew. But with him and his repair guys, Pat and Morgan, he kind of takes care of that end to where there's not anything that's too small or anything that's too big. We can handle from one end of the spectrum to the other.
There you have it, everybody. Stay tuned. You're watching the Your Little Castle Show. We'll be back here in just a minute. Some more excitement from our community. Hey, everybody. Guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves baseball. Hey, all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dad, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Bush. Now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. It's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust, clearly explaining complex products, and keeping visitors engaged longer, reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's bigleagues.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there. So there you have it, everybody. That's why we show off our little book we have here. But magnetize your media. Technology has made it so crazy out there, and you've got to keep up. But pick up this Magnetized Media. It's the #1 seller on Amazon. Yours truly wrote the introduction here, the forward. My buddy said, since you wrote the first chapter, Carter, but they made me stick my picture in there. But how has technology changed the way we do things these days? And you've got to have, you guys did a great job, great looking website, social media, reviews, all that stuff is so important. But how has it changed even in the last 5, 7, 10 years?
Yeah, well, it absolutely. It continues to change kind of year after year. We were just talking during the break about video being a big one. SEO, how that plays in, how you use it, what works, what doesn't, what metrics continue to get changed for Google's crawling, page authorities, all these fun things that I've been up till midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning, learning about and trying to implement. But it definitely has made it easier to get your name out there if you know how to do it right. It's also made it easier for people to find people who need roofs. There's a lot of programs out there that will let us know, in live time, approximately what size hail, what day, when it fell, where it fell, so that a lot of people know where to target. That's where your door knockers come from.
Right.
But it's still very good because those are programs that the insurance company recognizes whenever we call and let them know, this is the qualifying date. So Yeah, technology, a lot of different things coming. I am not the technology guy.
You're doing your own
but,
SEO. That's
yeah,
a big one, man. A
yeah.
lot of people spend way too much money not getting results on SEO, but if you learn how to do some of your own, that's good. There's some
Yeah,
basics
yeah.
to it that are pretty easy. These SEO, search engine optimization, we're talking about. But kudos to you for taking that on. That's pretty cool. Rich, you've seen some technology changes over the years.
Oh,
Tell me.
yeah, there's been a lot of them. Just the amount of work you can do, one person can do with their smartphone now.
Yeah.
Years ago, you used to have to take a Polaroid picture of the damage and go show it to the homeowner. Now you can just email it to them while they're at work. You're up on top of the roof. Here's what I'm finding. Here's what I think the problems are going to be, or where your leak's originating from. And you can kind of share that with the homeowner. So that makes it nice.
Yeah, and piggyback off of that as well, and a little bit of what I was saying earlier, our CRM systems are really great. So when Rich is taking those photos out there, we can make the notes on the properties right then and there. So it just keeps a closer eye on everybody who's involved, knowing what the project actually entails, so that less is lost in communication.
Yes, get yourself a good high quality CRM, client relations management system, because there's so often, there's so many details. It's impossible for the average human to keep up on all of that. With that, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see some of the big guys make out there? Sometimes it's by virtue of being big, they can't pay as close attention. But what do some of them say? Not naming any names, but you've seen some issues that you don't let your customers make these mistakes.
Yeah, well, they're turn and burn, I would say. They're with employees and with projects. So, you unlike with us, when you meet Rich for that initial inspection, Rich is going to be overseeing your project the whole way through. Now he has a great support staff that we've been discussing,
Right.
that you'll be in contact with as well. But he is your main point of contact. Everybody's project manager. That's exactly what you're getting. You know who you're talking to, and you're not just getting tossed off, kind of put in as a big number. You're a name in our system. So we know the name, we know the property, we know what's going on.
Get it done. Rich, your project manager, with great power comes great responsibility. You've got a lot of work on your plate here. You're taking care of people.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of weight on your shoulder, but that's where the reviews and stuff, that's where it makes it all worthwhile. Whenever everybody's like, wow, went from a headache to this was a lot easier than what I thought. And oh, by the way, here's my cousin. I want you to go take a look at their roof. And
Right.
That's, being referred like that, then you did a good job, and it gives you that sense of pride.
Very cool, yes. We love getting those referrals from people that say, hey, go tell my brother-in-law. Somebody they know they trust, if they've given a good, warm introduction, that's the best way to get some business, because you've done a good job. What's the biggest question? What's the biggest objection people have? Is it always price? Is it always how quickly can it be done? Is it, hey, what have you guys done historically? What are some of the questions you hear from people before they decide to sign up with you?
A lot of it, I think, comes from being unsure. Obviously there's a lot of moving parts to an insurance claim if that's the route you're going, or there's just a lot of money to be spent if you're doing some upgrades to your home on your own dime. So it's a time-consuming process for a lot of people, and you also have to find somebody who is going to show up, going to call you back. So that's a reputation that we have to overcome. I would say beyond that, the economy is what it is right now, and it is a little tighter for a lot of people. So we do offer financing. You can finance for as little as, I think it's $2,000 up to $100,000,
Okay.
and pick your pick a program that works for you. You'll put in your information, and then they'll give you a couple offers or options that again would work best for you, that get these pressing issues taken care of, like we said, while maybe they're not cheap, but they're not getting cheaper.
Yes. Some of the questions you see, Rich?
One of them that's out there a lot with the insurance company is who takes care of the deductible. With that being said, your insurance company is going to be covering, say, $19,000 of it. That's an agreement you've made with your insurance company that you pay that portion. Things have changed now where the insurance company doesn't just pay you one lump sum and say, okay, good luck finding a contractor, hope everything works out. They're going to only pay you a portion up front, and then they're going to expect receipts to pay for the remaining balance.
Yeah.
So having a contractor who says they're willing to take care of deductibles and that sort of thing, be buyer beware. Something ethical's not some's not ethical going on there. So
Yeah. Besides, that's illegal. From what
correct,
I understand.
yeah,
You cannot eat the
Yeah, that can
deductible.
come back
Senate
on the
Bill
customer
101.
and the contractor. Yeah.
Nobody wants to. So you save $2,000, but you end up in jail. That's not a good
yeah.
strategy either. So.
And anybody who's trying to save that deductible, that $2,000 is coming from somewhere. The deductibles have gone up so high now that you can't, without cutting corners, make a profitable job out of it.
Very, very well said. Yes. With that, I want to show off the website one more time. Give you a little more in depth here. But if you want to get started, pretty easy. Fill out this form. That's going to send an email into you guys. Go into your CRM, I would assume, and then people can quickly, or they can just call in too, right? The phone number. There it is at the top right corner of the page, and we've got it here on our title. But what happens after that? Pretty quick process. They can get a call back and then schedule to do an inspection, and then take it from there.
Yeah, we are humans. We sleep, but we do monitor that email pretty religiously around the clock. I wake up at night sometimes, can't go back to sleep, check the email, because
Right.
somebody might have been working day shift and now they're home surfing the web, and this is when they're looking. So once we get that email, we will usually reach back out to you within a day and see what works for your schedule and what's your problem kind of going on, and come out and schedule the time to come out and assess everything.
Okay. We've got about 2 minutes left here, everybody. I wanted to finish up with one of my favorite questions. But what ultimately gives you the most satisfaction? I'll start off with you on this, Rich. What gives you the most satisfaction about what you get to do here to help people?
Again, it's the why do I keep drawing a blank on this? The reviews and stuff. Just knowing that you went from one point where the homeowner was completely frustrated, didn't know where to even start, and then they tell you at the end how you've made this process a lot simpler than what I was expecting it to be, and everything that you promised, you didn't overpromise and underdeliver. Everything that we discussed was clear with everybody, and a lot of people are shocked when I can't believe that my claim went from a small wind damage thing, but to where now that they're replacing the whole roof, and any issues that they had were resolved.
There you go. What helps you do this every day? Wake up to be satisfied with what you're doing. See the final product on the.
Yeah, I'd have to say that it's kind of a tie between what Rich was just saying there. It's good to know that we're out there doing what our mission is, and that's to help people, and that people notice. But I guess my most fulfilling portion of the job of being the owner comes back down around to my team. Once again, just being able to have helped them through a few tough times, knowing that I'm doing everything I can right to make sure that they have the time that they need for families, and we're making a good living.
Well said, everybody. Some experts in our community here who really make an impact and do a lot to help impact not just the customers they have, which is very important, but also, I like what you said, taking care of your employees. Because, boy, if you don't have take care of your employees, then you're never going to build anything, because the team is so important to the whole calculation, the whole process. But as we finish up here, I'll mention, we always finish, we talked about this early on, but I'll one more refresher to what else do you do to support our community, and that great support for Freedom 13, which I'll put up on the wall behind us one more time. Great organization. I know Mark personally, and he's been on the show, but if you'd like to support those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, and those who continue to contribute, do so there, and make a difference in our little planet. You're watching the Your Little Castle Show, everybody. Stay tuned.